2025 and I still see a lot of people struggling to spot cheaters, besides the amount of resources there is on the internet. So I guess I will just add another one to the collection. See, with the returns of the bots, nowadays cheaters are both more easy to spot, but they also try to hide more in the legit community. So today we will just try to learn to separate what's a good aim from a scripted advantage used by cheaters. So TF2 defines cheating as using a third-party program or a materials that change to gain an unfair advantage. You would have aimbots, trigger bots, wallhacks, ESP, or any automation who is basically beyond any normal inputs. And that tend to ban the people who use that via the VAC. So when you're in casual, you can do few things to help to contribute to a bad of a cheater. You can just vote kick him, and you can use a report tool. The vote kick, you will usually need around 60% yes on your team to vote kick someone from your team. So usually you need 5 or 6 people who say yes to vote kick the guy. And for the report, just be as precise as possible and try to also provide video evidence. Now, basically, when I'm suspicious of someone, I check 4 things. Or I check 4 main things at least, because I check multiple. The main major thing that I will check is the aim. Does someone have an insanely good aim with basically little to no errors in TF2? Does he never miss? Does he snap toward me or not? Because basically when someone legit or human plays a game, that person will have some miss. But when a cheater does that, you will not have any miss. The aim will stay consistent and flawless. You can also check for what we could call some trigger timing would be too perfect. In that case, it would be, for example, you barely peek, you have 1 pixel you peek and you get instant shot. So in that case, it could be an aimbot or a trigger bot who is used on you specifically. Another thing I will check is what the information tells. So I will check for some profile without any cues. So basically, they profile you, but you didn't make any sound, any voice, or you didn't give any line of sight info. You can also do a spy check and see if that guy is instantly turning to face you when you're a spy, or is going to magically spy check the corner you're in. All of that are usually indicator of anti-aim or of some wallhacks or ESP. You can also check for any form of movement or packet tails. And in that case, for example, you can check first if the guy is using a backtrack. So to spot a backtrack, basically you would just try to peek very a small amount of time and come back. If the guy hits you where you were, while you are at your eyes in a safe spot, in that case it means that he would usually use a backtrack. Or you can check for the latency, for the lag, for the TP also, does that guy is basically tipping towards you or not. All of that are basically things who tell if someone is messing with internet or not. And if he's cheating, if he's using fake lag, fake latency, so it's pretty easy to spot sincerely. You will just notice it because the lag or the latency will not match, and you can confirm that by checking the scoreboard latency with the, if you type ping in the console, usually you will have like 50 of difference, between 30 and 50 of difference. And if it's the case, it's fine. If it's a number who is completely higher, then usually that guy might be cheating. And the last thing I will check is usually the behavior. Are they like insanely good, and the moment you call them out, they become quite bad? In that case, it can mean just that the guy start to like toggle off to try to not be spotted, or does he become like instantly quiet, or does that guy that you call out, or you just don't say his name, you just say, hey Red, you have a cheater in your team, and that guy will be the first one to ask, oh, who is a cheater? In that case, he just try to like be psychological toward his team or toward your team, and to not like to show himself as someone who is like caring, who try to, oh, I will kick the cheater and be a nice individual. So yeah, all of those are basically behavior of the guy usually cheating. To check all of that, you can run some pretty easy tests. To check for like a wallhack or an aimbot, you can just go for like, try to take unpredictable routes, and to not give like any kills info, any sound cues info, and see if that guy is magically waiting for you. You can also do the spike lock test as mentioned earlier, and go in open space and see if, oh, magically that guy will go and spy check on you, or if that guy is magically throwing rocket towards you. Or you can also like just try to rocket jump and, oh, guess what, the rocket is finding its way towards you. All of that are usually indicator of, yeah, that guy might be cheating. And it's important to, when you do all of that, to always capture your proof. So usually try to record demo or to clip the moments you think that guy could be cheating, because it's always good to use that and to timestamp that to rewatch it and be sure that you're kicking a cheater and not someone who is actually good. Now, as mentioned earlier, like you have the reporting game tool, you have the fact kick system, and on the community you can just ping on admin or they have the smack system to just ban cheaters. Now, I say the guy might be cheating because you can have some false positive. Great games can happen. Someone can have a 50 kill streak and that doesn't mean he's cheating. Someone can pub stomp, that doesn't mean he's necessarily cheating. It's just the matchmaking who have a poor like MMR system. I mean, even if there is none. And someone could just have a good crosshair placement, and any sound cues could look like an ESP, honestly. Or it could have some latency and like lag spike or some packet loss because you have a poor configurations, and that can create some teleports. So yeah, any instance alone doesn't necessarily mean that someone is cheating. But if the guy is actually a cheat or not, you want to cross multiple interactions with that guy. For example, you saw that guy treating 5 or 6 times on the kill field and he magically appears in front of you and boom, he creates you. Or he is playing soldier and he may create 5 people back to back. Technically it can happen, but the odds for it to happen are so slow that it will usually lead toward cheating more than that guy being legit. You can also use a website called Steam History. It's a good website to track down if someone would be marked down on community mostly, to see if that guy would just be spotted for being cheaters and banned on those community server or not. And yeah, that's basically how I spot if someone is cheating or not. Obviously, a lot of that comes from the fact that I face cheaters. I face like any kind of cheaters, honestly, for like 5,000 or 6,000 hours. And so I have a lot of experience to face them and to spot them nowadays. And all of that basically is my main factor, and that's why usually after like one interaction I can tell if someone is cheating or not, because I know what can be and what can't be done. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I hope it teach you some stuff to spot cheaters, and I will see you in the next one.